Hey BookTube, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I don't know. I know I've been gone. I'm not going to have a lot of well, those weren't excuses then. Those were explanations. And it's still the same thing, so why even waste your time with it? Which is work, family, illness, mother, life. So I'm going to get right on into it. If my title, first of all, Happy New Year. I know this is beginning of February, but I'm not going to say it anymore since I haven't been on since, now my first time in the new year. Um, again, if my title is correct in my head, what I want to say, there's going to be a discussion about a movie to book adaptation. Um, my current reads, which I started back in October, November, but again, life, although they're really good, and a PSA, which for me, that's really important. So let's get started. So the book that I read a long time ago, but I still remember it in my head was because it was so good, was called Sold. And that was written by Patricia McCormick. Um, book really good. Triggers. So if you have, you know, um, child rape or just rape, molestation, sex trafficking, um, might be some drug usage in it. This is going to do it for you. And so good. So anyway, just to cap it off, this little girl, um, Lakshima, Lakshmi, um, she lived with her mother in a small village in Nepal. I want to say that's India, Pakistan. I mean, I am good with geography, but for some reason I can't. Nepal, I keep thinking Italy, but that's not it. But anyway, it goes. I'm just going to tell you that her mother, like I said, sold her, sex trafficking. Just, man, that really pissed me off. But the book is good, really good. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but you might have to take some time out to stop and catch your breath if this is something that's going to bother you. It's not a long book. The pages are. It's a quick read. 263 pages. I read this book pretty fast. So, and so good. So the movie is out. It's on Hulu. And it took me a while because I had it on my in my list, my watch list on Hulu, because I wasn't sure when I could actually watch it because of the topic of this book. I went ahead and I watched it about late last week, which is probably Wednesday or Thursday, I think. Oh my gosh, it's good. Now, they did take some liberties, how they always do, with the book, but, and no spoiler alert, the ending is different from the book, but the ending was still as good. Not as good as the book, but it's good. So if you want to watch the book, I mean, watch the movie and read the book, I suggest that you should. I recommend it. Um, which one would you do? I still say read the book first and watch the movie, but I don't know how long it's going to be on Hulu because it was on for a while. I was surprised it was still on my watch list. Um, but it's there. So anyway, watch Hulu. Really good. Sold, again, by Patricia McCormick. Um, let's see. Okay, so now my current reads. I started, like I said, back in October, November. I think it was November. So the one book I read was called and I'm still reading it, but I'm just giving you updates on how it is so far. The Short and Tragic Life of Robert Peace. I mentioned this before. If you watched one of my other videos, I don't know who I still have. What little, but anyway, by Jeff Hobbs, a brilliant young man who left Newark for the Ivy League. This book actually has, so far I know it might be unsolved. I did call myself Googling it to see what happened, but then I'm like, no, no, I'd rather just finish reading the book, and then if it doesn't answer that question, then I'll Google and see what the outcome is. But it's about this young man named Robert Peace. Um, it's pretty smart. As a child, very smart. Um, they lived in an urban area. His mom came from kind of a large family. She was pretty smart, but um, things that she had to do to get through life. Uh, she had her son in later years of her life, like I think maybe in her 30s, I think. So he's her only child. And the father, although he wanted to marry her, she didn't want to marry him. And I don't want to give that away why it was. Uh, had nothing to do with the father. He's a pretty good guy. But that's all I'm going to say. Some things happened in his life, in his dad's life, that kind of affected him. And so that's all I'm saying. But it's so far, it's good. It's really good. I hope to finish this book before the month is over. So hopefully I will. And if so, I'll come back and I'll give more of information on this book. But it's good. I've had this book for a few years. Let's see. Maybe 4 years. 3 years, maybe 3 years. Bought it in hardcover because that's the only book I saw. I didn't see it. I think it was like new when I got it, Barnes and Noble. But anyway, it's a really good book, and there's pictures in here. I can't say one thing I can't say about this book. The author, Jeff Hobbs, when we first started, I was reading it, and then he just kind of went from one to the other, which was one thing I mentioned was when Robert's mom brought him home from the hospital. He mentioned how she talked to the family that was in there. Next thing you know, she's talking to somebody else, and it's like, where did that guy come from? He never even introduced him into the book. I don't know. I mean, I hate when that stuff happens, because then I went back thinking maybe I missed something. And I read those 3 pages like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, I didn't miss it. This is just what he did. So I was kind of like thinking, oh, it's going to be one of those books. But no, for some reason, the editor missed it. It's a good book. Read this. Then, as I was reading, I also decided to read, because I've had her book for a long time. I found it on, once I watched her Netflix show, but I already heard about her, and you'll know why. And so I went trying to find the book, and I found it on a book, and so I bought it. And so now I guess she's starting to sell more. But anyway, Rachel Dolezal, In Full Color, Finding My Place in a Black and White World. Now, I'm almost finished with this book. I'll give you more detail when I read, because, I mean, when I finish, like I said, I don't want to make this video long. But what I can tell you about this book is, just like in her movie, and yeah, the Netflix movie, this book had me going through so many emotions. And not, her being who she is. No, it's the things she had to go through in her life that just, her parents and their ideas about, I guess, Christianity, what they thought Christianity was, their religion, her brother, the adoption of the other children later. I mean, I'll go through it more, but suffice it to say, this is good. Rachel, she has her own Instagram account, and which after I watched the Netflix show, I just happened to say, let me see if she's on Instagram. And she was. But you have to, she has to accept your what link or whatever you call that, when you sign in, you want to get, anyways, you have to accept it. She has to accept it. And I'm thinking what she does is maybe she looks through your account to see if you're pretty decent people. Um, yeah. So, and just off topic a little bit, somebody did sign on that she accepted, but then that person happened to be a butthole. And I'm like, why would you do that? So, of course, you know, she 86'd him. Not like killed him, but 86'd him. But let's see what else. Oh, and she has a YouTube channel because we were like, some of those like, you should have a YouTube channel. So she does. And maybe I'll put the link in my description now, or I'll wait till I do the current read, my update. So that's it. So these were good books. Now, yeah, and I have a lot of things that I marked. Now, oh, there are some things that I also read in here that I was like, what? So a little bit of the editing, but it's good. And I'll tell you anyway, because I want to start talking about the book, but I won't. Okay. Now here's my PSA. So I'm just going to start off by saying, people, life will get better. It really will. I've gone through where I thought, and I could go deep into mine, but life will get better. It all depends on where your belief systems are as well, because you got to have something. If you don't believe in something, you believe in something. And I'll explain that. So, as you know, January, there were a lot of people who were seeming like committing suicide or just getting killed. Oh my gosh, dying, Betty White, she died. I liked Betty White, thank you for being a friend. I liked her, and Mary Tyler Moore and stuff, so that was sad because I thought surely she's going to make it to 100 at least. Then you start hearing the suicides. Regina King's son, he committed suicide. Oh, the latest, which seriously, I'm not one of those conspiracy theory people, but I can't believe that. Chelsea Trist, Miss USA 2019, she had so much stuff going on. Yes, her mother says that she had some depression, but I don't understand that. She lived on the 29th floor, but she went up to the 30th floor to jump. So the 29th floor wasn't going to do it. That's why I say I don't think she did. Yes, they said she left a suicide note. Maybe somebody forced her. I can't see it. But if so, I mean, her life is gone anyway, and it's so sad. Oh, and that actor, Michael something Williams, who played on The Wire and some other things, very good actor. And he overdosed on, what was it, coke and fentanyl. And of course, they found the 4 guys who sold it to him. One ran off to Puerto Rico, like you didn't run far enough, but you're still going to get caught anyway. But I'm like, here you are taking drugs. And then my cousin told me yesterday, about 2 days ago, her son's father was shot over some stupid argument. I think the guy shot him in his face. He took off. So if you're man enough to take a life, man enough to stay there and get arrested, accept it. They know who it is because there was someone else in the house. But who are you? Who gave you the right to take a life? And yes, I can say that because I've had lives stolen in my family. One, my sister, and her murder was never been caught. But the thing is, to say it all, whether you are taking a life, if you're that upset, can you just fight? And if you get beat up, that's how it used to be when I was a kid. If you fought, then and you lost, you just got talked about, and then another discussion went on and people forgot all about you, and that's it. Otherwise, um, and the suicide, it's all I can say is that if you have someone you can talk to, please do, or just call the suicide hotlines. They can help you. That way, you're not even talking to somebody who actually knows you, who you might feel embarrassed about what you're going through. You're just talking to a stranger who probably is went through the same thing you went through. They can talk to you. And it's not a black, white, Hispanic, Asian thing. Therapy is for anybody. I was a counselor. So, um, I believe in therapy, that therapy can help, whether it's secular therapy or Christian therapy. If you are a Christian, you can go to a therapist still, somebody in your church, your pastor. There are Christian therapists who can talk to you, and they can talk to you in the line of your beliefs, using the Bible, talking to you about that. Um, some people think that, oh, as a Christian, if I kill myself, I can still go to heaven. I don't know. Would you want to take that chance? Because that's murder. You killed yourself. But believe me, no matter what, you might think it's terrible today. It could be better tomorrow. It could be better next week. Talk to someone. I know of people who committed suicide. I had a best friend in high school who did. I'd said to him I was going to see him when I come back. Like, I'll see you next year. That's the joke that we made. See you next year. And I come back and he's not there. His locker was right next to mine. We had a couple classes together. So, yeah. But then so much this year just got started. And there's people whose lives are just leaving. And then, of course, February just started. And he's gone. My cousin's son's father. He's a really nice young man. I don't know. So I just want to say that if whether you guys believe it or not, because I know this is not something that's not a popular belief. Some people say that this is antiquated. It's not antiquated. Heaven is real. Hell is real. There is an afterlife. So I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. And all I'm saying is this: if you are an agnostic or an atheist, I've always said this to even friends who I had that were both of those. I pray that what you're saying is true, that there is no God, no heaven, no hell, like John Lennon's song, Imagine There's No Heaven or Hell. I pray that that's true for you. So that way, when you die, what you said is true, we're just dead. Whereas, if what I'm saying, other people saying is true, you're going to find out. And then you're going to stand before him. And do you want to hear the Lord say, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. Make you rule over many. Welcome to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Or do you want him to say, I know you not, depart from me, workers of iniquity? I want the former. So talk to somebody. Whether you believe in not, that's your belief system. I think it's stronger to have a belief in saying There is no God, there is no Satan, there is no hell, there is no heaven. That's a stronger belief than having a belief of hope in the afterlife. When you have that hope, you can pretty much rest assured that maybe there is a better day. But even if you don't have that hope, get it. Talk to somebody. Death is permanent. And if you try to commit suicide and it doesn't work out, then what? You're going to become a vegetable. That could happen. Some people have been blessed to make it through. But they still suffer something. So please, just, my time is gone. Talk to somebody. So, I don't know how to do that suicide prevention thing. I don't know how to do that. I'll just put a description line. My editing skills are not, whatever. But thank you so much. Please, please get help. And yeah, the most important book, if you want to read to help you feel better, is the Bible. There are other books out there to help you. Bible is the most important one. You are important. Your life matters. Somebody loves you. You're not in this world and no one loves you. Someone loves you. First and foremost is God, Jesus Christ. Then you have your parents, or you have someone who knows you. Somebody loves you. Love yourself. I love you enough to tell this, and I don't know who's listening. If it's just one person, that's good for me. So thank you so much. You guys have a blessed day. And again, these are my books. So 1, 2, and I finished the third. So have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. And happy reading. Bye. I got that from the woman on Blueprint. I love how she ended that. But thanks. Have a blessed day again. And happy reading. Ciao.